Elphaba is arguably one of the most infamous TikTok live streamers on the entire platform. Now, if you don't know who Elphaba is, well, this is Elphaba right here. She's blown to popularity, if you can call it popularity, through basically doing some of the dirtiest and doggiest things out there. She has entered a kind of a talent show for people with autism, claiming she has autism, won the competition, and then stated she never had autism. She claimed to have Tourette's, and turns out she never actually had Tourette's. She went out with scabies into the public community, which is basically a huge no-no. She charged people for photos with her, taking around a card machine, charging people £5. She had memberships on TikTok, which she started out at about $2.99, and then when loads of people subscribed to it, she jacked up the price to £50, so people were starting to get charged £50 instead of £2.99, which they agreed to. There is so many things that Elphaba has done that I'm barely even scratching the surface. But we're going to take a look at some of Elphaba's latest ventures, because I haven't checked out Elphaba in a very, very long time. Because, well, once you've seen Elphaba once, you've seen her 1,000 times. But we're going to take a look at some of the latest things that she's been up to, just to see just what crazy shenanigans are going on at the moment. Let's just give it a go.
Coming up.
I'm sorry for crying. It's not that easy, mate. I can't do anything.
So Elphaba says that she's paralysed mentally and is struggling to keep up with her hygiene.
I'm literally paralysed, like, in a way, mentally. But and it's literally affecting my health. I've got to have 2 teeth taken out next week because of it. I've got to have 4 fillings. I'm sorry for crying, it's just really fucking hard, and I really just can't take it sometimes because I want to help myself, but I can't. And it's really hard because it's like I go to this extent and I make myself sabotage myself, and it's really difficult because it's like my skin gets bad, my hair gets greasy, my things, like everything, and it's just like I really don't fucking know what to do because it's so difficult to go through this process of self-sabotaging myself, but I can't physically do anything because my brain's thinking, like, what's the point? So
I obviously, on the surface, this seems incredibly sad, right? Until you read the top comment, which says, yet less than 24 hours ago, Elphaba was saying quirky Elphaba is back and how good their mental health has been. Can't even keep up with their lives within 24 hours. So it begs the question of, like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously the internet has taken an insane mental toll on Elphaba, to the point where multiple people have said, you know, Elphaba, it's time to kind of hang up the camera, it's time to, you know, let's leave it be. But I guess going to work is a far harder concept than well, whatever it is that she does on TikTok Live and making money that way. But as you can see, as we scroll down, there is just so much stuff. But her mental health, not her mental health, sorry, her hygiene apparently has taken a dip. And this was raised by a podcast that she went on. So she went on a podcast, and the podcast host came out in a follow-up podcast to kind of say that her, you know, she smelled, her personal hygiene was bad and things like this, which is a bit doggy from the podcast host, in my opinion. You know, like, if you're going to have someone on, it's probably not the best thing to do, and it's not the nicest thing to do to kind of go behind their back and then say, yeah, they stank. But at the same time, you know, like, if that's the case, then who's there to argue? But let's have a look at some other ones that she's got going on at the minute. So,
well, that's my friend, because I'm hanging out with my friends, and that's why. But my friend's waiting for me. I'm going on a night out with my friend. Oh, what a day. So since you don't have friends, bitch, who do you think I am? I do have friends, you know. I have friends that don't like to be public, and I respect that a lot, to be honest. I don't have any public friends. What I do, I have a lot of private friends. Because they don't like to be in the public eye. I like that though. That's why I respect them a lot, because they don't like having, like, the public No. Because in a way, like, can I be kind of honest with you? If you are, I'm sorry, I have to be honest. Put agree in the chat if you agree, right? Right. If someone with 500,000 followers, right, becomes friends with someone with 1 follower, right, and that 1 follower, that person who knows them from TikTok, takes photos and puts them on their story and things like that, that's technically not going to work as a friendship because that person is using them to build their platform. I thought that was my friend because my friend...
So obviously, you know, Elphaba is all about the clout, right? She is the clout. She brings the clout, and she, you know, brings it to whoever she bestows upon her platform, right? And obviously, you know, we all know that she's the biggest fish in the pond. She went to a Nicki Minaj concert. This came from her, by the way. This is her words, not mine. She went to a Nicki Minaj concert and they had to fence her off from the general public because the general public were so fascinated by Elphaba, more so than the fact that they were there to see Nicki Minaj. They didn't care that Nicki Minaj was on stage. Nicki Minaj could have come and given them a high five. They don't care. Elphaba's who they're there to see. Genuinely, she said that, by the way. She said that she went to a Nicki Minaj concert and they had to fence her in because she was so big in the crowd. She was just there. Everyone wanted to see her. But yeah, it's yeah. But if there's another thing that I know Elphaba enjoys, it's creating drama with other content creators on TikTok. Let's think of someone like CLA, Chelsea Lee Arts, who is also another interesting character on TikTok. But let's have a look at this.
People target me and they make videos on me and take the piss out of me. Have you seen me make videos on Zach? Have you? Look on my TikTok page right now. Go look on my TikTok page right now. I'll give you seconds. Yeah? No video of Zach. Right. Me seeing Defying Gravity, me doing vlogs, me doing my own thing. Okay? Zach is making videos on me and be like, oh, I love the Elphaba gifts. Haha. Babe, you're obsessed with me. Admit it. You're obsessed with me and the entertainment I create. Remember that. I remember who has a bigger following. Alright.
The arrogance.
So, you go do your streams, you go do your FYP thing, and you just leave me alone. Because it's quite obvious who's obsessed. I'm going out.
But the top comment, of course, Orion, you're making a video of Zach right now. The irony. But that's just Elphaba through and through. You know, this is the kind of thing that we've all come to expect from Elphaba these days. But you know, let's just not forget though that Elphaba is the biggest fish in this pond. She will always be the biggest fish in the pond. But here she is with CLA, of course, you know, the one and only CLA.
Oh, it is nice out, isn't it?
Yeah. That window is warm.
Whoa! Oh, darling. Yeah, I love the shisha actually, so we'll have a treat. Oh, darling, a route started. This is great, guys. Love all the legs. Legs 11. Legs 11. Woo! Episode 7.
You gotta wonder what the point is of this. Do you know what I mean? They're just walking down the high street and she's just going, roots, something or other, legs. And it's just like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to wonder where the bar sits for content creators anymore. Because, I mean, it can't be set particularly high. Do you know what I mean? Like, if this is deemed to be, you know, content that makes money on TikTok, yeah, it's a bit of a shambles. But let's have a little look at some other videos that she's got going on. Oh, more beef.
He'd rather talk to me publicly but not privately, which doesn't make sense to me. He never spoke to me privately about this, really. He just kept talking about me publicly, which clearly, when he looked at me first, when he wanted me to paint him green, it was all a piss take. He generally just took the piss out of me. Because only recently he started making another podcast thing about me, where he said, oh, but she's not spending any money on her transition. Who the fuck do you think you are to even say something like that when you're not even trans yourself? You cannot talk about someone's trans journey when you're not trans, Max. And just because you raise like £30,000 for trans people doesn't mean you can fucking talk about someone else's trans journey and their journey in their own self. It's gotten to him, because it can get to people, like it almost got to me. You've got to be really kind of humble and grateful and kind, and most importantly, I can't lie, it's really wrong when you try and take the piss out of someone and bully someone for the way they are, and on top of that, to comment on someone's journey who is trans when you claim to be a trans ally. When I went to your fucking event, when I went to your Not a Phase event, when I went to it and I faced you and you saw me in the audience and I faced you front row and I donated money to that fucking charity. So you cannot fucking say I am not trans. When I go to these events, these prides, these things, privately, off camera.
I mean, I can understand how frustrating it must be for someone to be trans, going through the journey of being trans and then all the rest of it, but I don't think Elphaba gets dunked on because they're trans. I think Elphaba gets dunked on because of the bad shit that she's done to get herself into the position that she's currently in. Do you know what I'm saying? And also the fact that someone's raised £30,000 for the LGBTQ community through charity and for trans people through charity makes me wonder that, you know, they've probably done a lot more to support the trans community than Elphaba has in any capacity. You know? Because, yeah. Well, apparently fans have turned up at Elphaba's door. Fans turned up at Elphaba's door and bang on the door. Let's take a look at this.
Who the fuck is that?
Elphaba, from one of your friends, we heard her singing outside.
Okay, thank you. Good, see you. Au revoir. Goodbye. Why are you near my home? Why are you outside my home? No, that's weird. You're not a fan, babe. You're a fucking stalker. Piss off. No, I don't like that. You shouldn't be coming to your fucking home like that. Can you fuck off and leave me alone? I'll call the police. Sorry. But piss off. No, I'm not having it. That's not okay. I'm gonna keep singing now, I don't give a fuck. I'm famous. I'm just kidding.
I'm not being funny, but if people turned up to my house like that, right? First of all, I would be a lot more concerned than she was right there. But this is a regular occurrence for Elphaba because she's so famous, right? You know, people turn up at her door all the time expecting things. They expect her to come to the door, sign autographs, take photos, obviously all for a £5. She whips the card machine out. You've got to make sure you pay contactless. And then she shuts the door and then everyone leaves happy. Yeah, it begs the question of whether this is truly a fan. But, yeah, I don't know. Let's take a look at some more videos, though. Let's have a look at one more video. Let's see. Let's make it an absolute banger, shall we? Elphaba gets told exactly how it is. So this, I think, comes from a live video where I think Elphaba basically spoke to a fan live. Like, you know how you can join live streams on TikTok? Like, you can request to join it and they can either choose to accept it or deny it. Well, this is that.
You know, you're the reason for clicking on that live button and for getting everything you are getting. You know what I mean? From clicking that live button, you are responsible.
I see your point. I do. Fair enough.
I'm not gonna hate because I don't like hating and I don't hate people, but I disappoint. However, I do admit I have done bad things and everyone has done bad things. However, you are responsible. As me as a cosplayer and content creator, you are responsible for when you click that live button. You can agree on me or disagree because you're entitled to your own choices of opinion of other people. For people's trigger warnings or mental health, you going at it, just end the live, because no one would really want to hear it. Because a lot of people have gone through a lot of things in their life from either bad or worse situations. And trust me, as well as myself. And we do not need to hear any more of things that have unfortunately happened between you. I know you want to spread awareness, but sometimes it has to be private. I'm going to leave, but I hope you have a good day. But please, you are responsible for clicking that live button. Have a good day.
Radio, were you nervous, Radio? I heard like a lot of breathing in your, because when you come on to an audience like this, it is quite nerve-wracking. Like, my heart isn't even racing anymore, but like, were you like a bit nervous? Because I could hear that.
You know, you're the reason.
Oh, could you imagine, right? Sitting there, being told by a fellow content creator, you know, some sound advice. Don't go live. Don't live stream if you're not in a good mental headspace, or if you're just going to do it to rant, or just do it to get upset with other people, right? And then being patronising after, being like, look, I know, it can be so scary coming onto my huge platform of 500,000 followers. It must be so scary. I can only imagine how scary it really is. No, man. Like, come on. Don't do that. If anything sums up Elphaba, it was absolutely that last video. But there you go. There's the latest on Elphaba. There's plenty more to dive into. So if you want more, be sure to let me know down in the comments. What do you think of Elphaba? Maybe you're an Elphaba fan. Let me know why. Be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later.